Hey loves, I hope you guys are enjoying your day, your evening, or whatever time of day it is, wherever you are. I just hope you're enjoying it. And thanks for tuning into my video. Today's video is all about things to consider before going blonde. Going blonde seems to be kind of a taboo, or going red or going black seems to be such a taboo because it's color. It's a color that does require a little bit more maintenance, actually a lot more maintenance. And I just wanted to do this video to make you guys fully aware of things to consider before actually committing to the color. This is my second time going blonde, and I feel like after the first time going blonde, I really learned a lot. I mean a lot about just being patient, learning from the first time around things to do and things not to do. The first thing to consider, yes, blonde is going to be a lot more maintenance just because of the roots and how blonde you really want it. Me, the way I combat that is by not necessarily putting my base as blonde, but throwing in highlights. So what I did was I considered just doing highlights. So I'm not fully blown blonde, I'm actually just highlighted with blonde. Actually back here, it's all my dark color, if you can see. I really just have blonde kind of like in my crown area and in my front area, and my base is still my actual color. It kind of lightened up slightly because my stylist used Olaplex, and it's basically a deep treatment, a conditioning treatment that she combined with the color that will help with it not being damaged. So the way to avoid the high maintenance is by getting highlights. I actually like that root action, so if you like that kind of dark root action, especially for like the fall season, I think that that's a great way to combat the high maintenance of being blonde. Now you can't just let it grow out to, after a certain point it just doesn't look cute. So that's why I say highlights is a lot more easier, because you can just highlight it and not having to do the actual pure color of blonde. Now, one thing to consider that I learned from the last time is it does not happen overnight. You cannot assume that your stylist, especially if you're all the way in the dark zone as far as your color, you cannot expect your stylist to do that process in one day and get a really bright color. Some people can. Apparently Kim Kardashian can, but I'm pretty sure the integrity of her hair wasn't the same. So that's one of the things that you have to consider, is the fact that, do you actually care about the integrity of your hair, or do you not care? So I cared. So I did this part in one process, but it takes several processes for me to actually be fully blonde because I'm taking the highlights way. Now, if that's too slow for you, then you would just have to speak with your stylist to see what's best for you. But to be honest with you, the first time around, they just slapped that color on my hair, and it ended up being very, very ugly. It was very bad. It messed up my hair. The curls weren't the same, and so I had to go to my original stylist and have it chopped off. It looked cute, but I wasn't happy with the fact that I had to chop my hair off. Which, I mean, I should have done more research. You can't go from black to blonde in one night, but I'm not a stylist, so I don't know. But now I know. So if you are in the dark zone, just kind of work your way up. Now that the fall is coming, I think that those more darker mauve colors are coming in. Everyone kind of goes darker in the fall, but I went lighter, but I'm still keeping like that warmth in my hair color by ways of keeping, you know, like back here darker, letting my roots kind of still grow out a little bit, and it saves money as well. Something else to consider before you go blonde is the fact that you do have to pamper your hair a little bit more. I feel like you have to pamper your hair no matter what color you have, but I think that you have to take a little bit of an extra step when you're blonde, because it is one of those colors that can really damage your hair. The first time I went blonde, like I told you guys, my ends were shot. They were dead. And so I was so mad, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna cut my hair off. This time around, I noticed a little bit of like, maybe like, you know, those ends where they just kind of go straight after being curly. They just go kind of straight or limp, I'd say. Those were the only things that I've noticed kind of here and there. I prepped my hair for the blonde as well by just doing some deep treatments. Not too often, honestly, because I don't have a regimen per se, but I do remember, especially my husband, he reminds me a lot. He's really into like making sure that I'm okay with health, hair, everything, which I love him for that. I have my hair up today because it's super hot. Oh my gosh, is it hot where you guys are? So these kinds of things, when I say pampering yourself, I mean things like treatments, homemade treatments, or deep conditioners, or leave-in conditioners. Make sure that you actually I wouldn't say you have to stick to a certain routine, but just remember, like, okay, I'm going to put some coconut oil on my ends. So, which is a hint, I'm going to show you guys what I do with my ends and how I revived my ends so that they weren't stringy anymore. This is actually what I was kind of talking about. So it kind of just isn't as tight. But I've seen a lot of a difference because these were a little bit limper. So I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, you do, with anything that you do to alter your color or the texture of your hair, it is going to change some things about the texture of your hair if you use way too much heat. So there has to be some sort of balance. I'm not saying don't use heat, because I love a nice blowout, don't get me wrong, and I like a nice roller set. But the thing is, like, I can't just not do heat or just do heat only. So I think it's all about a balance. So that's pretty much most of the tips that I wanted to talk to you guys about, just things to consider before going blonde. So one was, yes, it is high maintenance, but maybe you can, instead of doing the full-blown blondes as your base, maybe do highlights. The second one was, try to take it in baby steps. Instead of doing it all in one sitting, try to separate it between 6 weeks at a time or 4 weeks at a time, or whatever you can afford. And the last one was pretty much very universal. Anyone can pretty much use this tip, and it's basically just pamper your hair. I think that with blondes it's a little bit more pampering, but it's for me, I'm so finicky with color and style because I feel like it's an expression of who you are, and how you wear your hair is an expression of who you are. I really wanted to share this video with you guys because I struggle sometimes with actually saying, oh my gosh, I want to change my color, or oh my gosh, I love color, because for so long I wanted to just be natural in a sense, because I was still dyeing my hair but it was a darker color, and I'm like, no, I need to be true with myself and what I like, and that is blondes. And maybe, I don't know, 3 years from now I want brown again, but honestly right now this is just what I like. I'm liking the color. I like the feedback that I get from you guys on Instagram. Since my hair has been blonde, it's actually grown quite a bit, and it made me think about kind of doing something like curly diaries or something like that. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to just be talking about what I do with my hair and how I maintain the blondes and how I still maintain it healthy as I can. I really hope this video helped you guys decide whether you're going blonde or not, and if you're really not, you just wanted to watch this video, thank you for watching. So I hope you guys enjoyed